Hey, y'all, whoever happens to be out here. Said there were a couple waiting. This is going to be kind of short and sweet tonight, but I wanted to give you guys some tips and ideas about what I'm going to be selling tomorrow. Okay, I'm on my desktop here, and my laptop's down there, so I may be popping back and forth. Hey, y'all, how are you tonight? I'm kind of worn out. That little one is he's starting to really wear me out. He's so busy. Yes, it is tease time. What I wanted to do is just give you some ideas about what I'm going to be trying to sell tomorrow. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit in a couple of minutes. But I was going to show you some just amazing things I happened upon today. Isn't that super cool? I got a whole little bag of all kinds of ephemera at an estate sale I happened to see today. And I happened on this one. I'm doing some research on it right now. But isn't that the yummiest thing you've ever seen? Perfect for just putting a book plate over the title. But it's beautiful, and it's got the yummy paper and beautiful plates in it. So I'm going to flip the camera down in just a minute. I was so excited to get that one. But I was really excited about this. Let me see what I did with it. This is a letter. And it's dated March 18th, 12 p.m., 1918. And this postmark says, "Food will win the war. Don't waste it." Is that not awesome? Who's on the sauce? But this came from the Director General of Railroads in Washington, and it's dated March 14th, 1918, and it says, "Dear Mr. Koch, I acknowledge with pleasure your letter of the 9th instant, pledging your service to the government and the United States Railroad Administration. I am deeply gratified with your patriotic assurances. I am eager to see that high quality of loyalty and patriotic cooperation between the officers and members of the Railroad of the United States, which will make certain the victory of democracy over the Prussian military autocracy, which now threatens the freedom of the world." Is that not amazing? It's really hot today, Tammy. The little one had his very first soccer meeting. It's for toddlers, so all the kids were like 3, maybe some 4-year-olds, and it was like almost 100 degrees out there at 5:30. It was crazy. And it hasn't cooled down a whole lot now. I'm done. I'm done with the heat. It's mid-September. It can start cooling down just a little bit. It doesn't have to go too far, but it can cool down a little bit. But I got 2 baggies full of ephemera that I'm going through at an estate sale I happened to see on my way out today. The little one was with me, and he made it very exciting. So the other thing that I have, let me grab this. Lace. And I'm saving the best for last. Is that not pretty? This is kind of a tea stain color. Let's see what I can put behind it. Did that help? Not really. But it's a beautiful lace. It's about 10 inches wide, 9 or 10 inches wide. And I got a couple of yards of that. And then there's this one. And it's a nice net. Isn't that pretty? So I was excited. I got those today in this delicate little doily. Tammy, when my youngest daughter was born, she was born in August, and she's just turned 40. We didn't have air conditioning at all, and that was the hottest summer I think I'd ever gone through. She was 3 weeks late, and she was 10 pounds. And you talk about a miserable summer, that was it. Oh, and I picked these up at a little antique store last weekend. I had to go to my older daughter's house to puppy sit. She's got a puppy and doesn't like for him to be alone for long periods. So I volunteered to go over and spend the night and be there for the pup. And hey, David, I got blessed at the little antique store I went to last weekend where I picked these up. I got these, and I got a couple of napkins that have the pretty embroidered corners, a little tiny something there. And let's see, where is it all? I've tried to stack everything here where I can reach it easily. So these are some of my new linens. I've got a basket in the hallway that is stacked probably to about 3.5 to 4 feet with linens. So, but these are the new ones that I found. Look at that. Isn't that cute? It's a little tablecloth with matching napkins. Cute, cute, cute. A heart-shaped doily. Everybody needs heart-shaped doily. A little linen piece. And 4 of these. Little Battenberg. I guess they're big napkins. So there's 4 of those. So I bought those and these. Wait till you see the lace on this. And I'm going to hold one of them up. Isn't that pretty? Peek and see if you can see it. Well, when I told the lady what I was doing and that I was, was going to be selling the things in a group, in Junk Journal group, And I left the things that I bought with her because I was just going to make one quick, around an aisle, and then I was supposed to leave. And when I came back to her booth, her husband was there, and he said, "My wife wanted me to give you this." And then I saw his wife, and she says, "Yes, I've been wanting to give some things to people that are doing creative things." Well, I thought, okay, it's a bag of cutters, and it was a hefty bag. Well, it was not cutters. Oh no, puppy, no hubby sitting. It had this beautiful tablecloth in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see the embroidered pieces on it. So I can't find a thing wrong with this other than some of the little edges have a little bit of fray on the edges. But other than that, there's no stains. There's nothing wrong with it. And here's one. Another little tablecloth. No stains that I could see. This little tablecloth, or table runner, it's not little. And it's got this fringe on the bottom. So there were those, a napkin, and this table runner that matched the little placemats. That's what was in that bag, and I was absolutely blown away because I was, to be honest, I was really happy. I really was happy thinking, oh, good, it's cutters, because then I can use it and cut it up. I have a hard time cutting up something that's in really good condition. Hey, Sandra, how are you tonight? Is it hot where you are? We're all complaining about the heat tonight. Another thing I picked up this week. Let me get to it. Come on. Okay. You see this? It's all fabric samples. So there's some that are like 18-inch squares and others that are, I think, 12 by 22. All different kinds of fabrics. Stripes, lots of stripes, beautiful patterns. Every color variation you could think of. Let's make my nose itch, sorry. More stripes. These are lightweight cotton feel fabrics. And this is what's making my nose itch. These fibrous ones like this. And there's some that are even more fibrous than that. So I've got this huge 114, 140 that I picked up to share with you guys. Here's one of the square ones. So put those back over there. And my room is a wreck because I have brought as much in here as I can so that I have it for the ready in the morning, and I don't have to keep running. But I've got, like I said, I've got the linens stacked about 3.5 feet high. Yeah, it does. A lot of those are very, very beautiful patterns that I think are perfect for binder, for journals. And it's hard to not keep half of them, but I can't do that. This room is all the space I have, and I'm thankful for it. And I've got storage, but what I really want to do is get rid of things. I want to be able to put what I need to work with in here. And I'm still looking for things in storage. There's still boxes that are too heavy for me to move, and my grandson's got to get over there with me to help me find more of my tools and things. So I've come to the realization that I have to let go of some of this stuff. I just can't keep holding on. I don't think they're Waverly. The designers on the back, I'll look and tell you in just a minute. But I've got this that I picked up a few months ago, and I thought, okay, great, I can use that to store some things in. Well, I really can't because I don't have anywhere to put it, so it needs to go. So that'll be going up. I've got this amazing piece of bark cloth that I picked up I think about a month ago. And you can't see it, but the whole floor down there is covered up with books, scrapbooks, encyclopedias. I found some awesome books today. I'll be popping up and down. I found some pretty books. They're coming apart. A lot of them are coming apart. But I found some really pretty covers. And I went to a yard sale to get something specific. And saw 2 estate sales and stopped at those. Isn't that pretty? So they've got really, I think, pretty covers. This one doesn't have a especially pretty cover, but I thought it was a cute book. Hey, Jean, how are you? Yes, David, I'm having a sale tomorrow. It'll be a live sale, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or daylight time. I don't think we're in daylight savings right now, but Eastern Time till 4 or 5, whatever. As long as people want to buy, I will be happy to lighten my stash so that I can actually do something instead of moving things around. I'm ready. I have tons of Reader's Digest. I'm letting the plain ones go for $1. And I've got a good many of those, and I have more in storage too. And then I have some of the prettier ones. I can get to them without knocking things over. Like these. Not that one, but this one. That I'm selling for $3. So it's a good price on all of them. I have too many. Isn't that pretty with the butterflies? Whoops. Back up. Move that way. And this one is maybe hard to see, but it's got some really pretty colors. Yes, I have a box of stamps and I have a box of stencils. I don't know. Let's see. Let me move this way. That and that behind that green basket, that's all stencils. And I have larger stencils hanging inside the doors of my cabinet there. I used to buy multiples because I was doing classes at my church. And I'm not doing that anymore. And I need to get rid of some of this stuff. All right, let's see. Tammy. Is that it? Oh, I'm going live in the morning, Sandra, from 10 to whenever. If it's 10 to 10, that's okay with me. I've got to get rid of stuff. Or Tammy, was it like this, but blue? Oh, it's raining here. Thank goodness we're getting some rain. It has been so dry. I'm looking. So you're saying yes to this green one, but you want blue. Oh, that's great, David. I did that. I went down to take care of an elderly aunt. All right, I'm putting this one aside, and I'll find you the blue one. It's been Slim's 3, 4, about 5 years ago. I went down to take care of an elderly aunt for almost a year, and she was in a nursing home for a while, and I would do painting with them, mixed media canvases. That's a good one to do, is mixed media. Just have all kinds of pretty papers and stencils and that kind of thing, and they love that. Hey, Lucy. So I have the things that I've shown you. I did find somebody that has, it's 10 vintage spools for $3. So I paid $3, so I'll sell them for $3.50. That way it covers whatever little fees I'm having to pay on the thing. I grabbed a couple. I'm going to be having another sale on the 28th. So if you're interested in some of those, I'm glad you did too. I appreciate you working in a nursing home. I tell you what, you are a blessing to those people. It was, yes, they do. Trying to think if I've got, are you looking for the foam stamps or wood stamps? Because I've got some of both, but I can dig out more of the foam stamps if that's what you're interested in. Well, bless you, David, because that's a field that's challenging, especially working with older people. Hey, Rosemary. Hey, Jennifer. I appreciate y'all hopping on. I just decided to do this kind of as a last minute thing. I did the little thing last night where we're building the. That was interesting. I wonder what that was. Oh, I know what it was. It was no big deal. Nothing harmful. Where we're building our subs, and she was talking about how we need to do more videos and more lives, and I'm not comfortable with that, and I'm not comfortable with this. I'd like to be on the other side of the camera, but I just decided I've got to do it. I'm going to do it. This is what I can do to supplement my disability income and work from home, work at my own pace, and work around the baby. And so that's why I'm doing this. Is something I've been wanting to do for years, and life kept interrupting, and it's like, okay, now is the time. Oh, that's a good idea to take your Cricut, and you can cut stencils with that too. And if you want to do a lot of stencils and not have to spend as much money, you could cut them on that 300-pound cardstock. And then once it gets a coat of paint on it, if you flip it over and let it dry, then you can use it again. You don't have to wash it. Just, let it dry, let the paint dry on it. And I've done that before with the classes I was teaching at church. I would just cut it out of paper, heavy paper, And then once it got a good coat of paint on it, it was good to go, use over again. So I've been going through some of the things that I've gotten and telling a little bit more about what I've got for sale tomorrow. I've got tons and tons of books. Tons of books. And I have even more books in storage. So I've got to get rid of those. My goal is, in the next 6 months, is to get rid of all the books in storage so I can move the things that I'm keeping into a smaller storage unit and stop paying as much for storage. But that's challenging for me because I love books and I love fabric and I love lace and paper, and I think you all understand. No, they didn't have money there, David. When I went down to take care of my aunt, I took a van load of art supplies. And I sold on eBay for about 9 years. And I sold a lot of the plaid products. And there used to be a plaid outlet store that was about 10 miles away from me. And I would go in there and load up. And then when they closed, I loaded up on paint. And, Rosemary, I'm so thankful. I look around and there's so many people struggling so much more than I am. I'm blessed. I have a place to live. I'm with my family. I get to spend precious time with my grandson. My other 2 grandchildren are 20 and 26. And so this is an opportunity to truly treasure and invest in this littlest one. And it's challenging. I mean, I would be a liar if I said I didn't have challenging days. Today was one of those. He was supposed to rest before soccer, and that didn't happen. Clarence, yep. Clarence is my middle name. I think all of us know that name. Oh, the other thing that I've got a ton of that I'm going to be letting go of are vintage playing cards. I've got 8 or 10 double sets. I've got some single sets. Ran across this today. Isn't that cute? It's just a little cardboard box. But I'm thinking about filling it with ephemera and then auctioning that off. We'll have to see. I have vintage fabrics that are from the 70s. I have newer quilting fabrics, and I have loads of lace. And I was showing some of the lace just a few minutes ago that I just got today. And I'm going to try to love on it a little bit tonight. I have cigar boxes. And I've got 2 cigar box purses. So that little stinker keeps me on my toes all day. This I picked up. Whoop, I'm going the wrong way. Not exactly my style. I'm doing this backwards. There we go. This was made by, it says Cigar Box Totes, Teresa Allen designer. And then it's got the strap and the button closure. I've got another one. It's over there. If you, I always do it backwards. Right there. I've got several more cigar boxes, and I'll be happy to put those in the sale tomorrow. Where am I from? I'm from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I've lived in and around the Atlanta area my entire life, other than a little stint with my aunt, and it was my Aunt Pearl. I had to go take care of her. When I got there, she was on 26 medications with 15 contraindications. David, you'll know what I'm talking about. Nobody, decades of these medications, and nobody caught the contraindications. So when I left, she was on 3 medications. And I did some intensive chats with her daughter, and she's no longer on any medication right now, and she just turned 90 years old. Well, it was my Aunt Pearl. I was named after her. My mother named me Jeannie after a paternal aunt, and Jeannie after paternal aunt. Yeah, I had it right. And Pearl after her sister, my maternal aunt. And my grandmother won. I was little Pearl all my life until I got to be a full-grown adult, and then we couldn't say I was little Pearl anymore because that made Aunt Pearl feel like she was big and fat or something. So, but that was just I've always treasured that. She's a treasure. She and my uncle was in the Army. He was a chaplain, and he did 3 tours of Vietnam, and he retired a lieutenant colonel. And then he was sick for a while, and they moved to Jekyll Island, and he got better, and he pastored different churches there, interim pastored. But they were just the sweetest things. And then he passed away, and she went to Florida, to Panama City, to live close to her daughter and her granddaughters. So she's always been very precious and important to me. Well, I appreciate you popping in, Jennifer. This could go on forever because when I'm tired, I have a tendency to chatter. I'm trying to think of what else. So I've got a box of stencils that I'll be pulling out tomorrow. I have a big bin of music, vintage music. And I have books, lots and lots of books. I've got some ephemera, some old papers, magazines. These aren't that old, but they're really, they look like they are. These are 1975. But I think they're really cool to use the ads and the papers and things for stuff. And I've got more that are similar to this. I had planned to do some paper packs. I was not able to get those done. You can blame Liam. I do. I have this book, the Encyclopedia World Costume. I've already taken it apart. I have the Sears and Roebuck catalog, facsimile. You know, it's not the old one. I have Women Painters of the World with some beautiful images. So I've taken all these apart. I have a book. It was Ladies Fashions. Here it is. There's the front of the book. And The World in Vogue. And these all have awesome like fashion and movie star and that kind of thing images. Whoops, where are you, lady? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. So my plan had been to put together really chunky paper packs, and the little one did not cooperate. $9.31 here. It is $9.33 here. So Somebody's clock is, somebody's watch. I'm terrible. I'm at Eastern time, Georgia. Where are you, David? What area? Teachers do. Yes, Jean, I'm going to make paper packs out of these, and I think I'm actually going to do some lace with those too. Yeah, we're the same time zone. So I'm having the sale tomorrow. Oh, New York? What part? Upstate city? I've been up to upstate New York, and actually it's 9:13 now. 9/11. I was in the Catskills in upstate New York, and with a cousin, we were visiting her daughter. And as we walked around the day before, we all at different times talked about getting a bus and going into the city for the day. And then, we'd talk ourselves out of it. Well, I had even thought, I had some friends in the city. I had even thought, well, I'll go and give them time, by themselves without me hanging around. And I just felt impressed to just not. And the next morning, we were getting ready to get out and do our running around. And my daughter called in a panic because she thought we were, somebody's calling. She thought we were in the city. She thought we were in the city and that we were right in the middle of that mess. And we turned the TV on just in time to see the second plane hit. And so it was devastating. So I know I'm forgetting something. But I've got lots and lots of books. I think I've said that. All kinds of encyclopedias, children's encyclopedias, sheet music, books with music. Trying to see what else is under there. I've got a big box of stamps, and if I can get to storage, David, before the sale, if I can get over there, I've got another big box of wooden stencils. I asked earlier, but I don't know if I saw it. Are you looking for the wooden stamps or foam stamps or both? Jean, I wish you were close enough to just come over here and pack some of this stuff up. It's become a burden. 10 a.m., Rosemary, Eastern time. Well, it's raining here, Tammy, so we're not seeing the moon tonight. I had a plan on what I was going to share. So I shared I've got tons of Reader's Digest, tons of linens, stamps, stencils, lots of books, other books, lots of fabric, I've got the big, huge thing of fabric samples. I've got cigar boxes. I'm pointing the wrong way. I'm doing it again. There we go. And I've got some tins. My intention has been to fill it full of something and auction it. But with my, Lucy, I wouldn't either. But I'll be on here a long time. I'm hoping that I'll have lots of people stay with me, stay hang with me, and that I could get rid of some of this stuff. I want to paint more. I was doing fine art painting. Back to work, David. Wood and clear. Okay. When I hurt my back 15 years ago, and I couldn't sit, and it was a 2-hour drive to get to the art class, and then you sit for several hours, and getting everything in and out of the car, I had to stop. Well, now that my back is better, I'm hoping maybe this fall to get back into the fine art painting with oils. And with taking care of the baby, which it's something I want to do, I've had to come to terms with the fact that I just have too much stuff. and it becomes a burden, and I need to let go of it. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I can actually get started doing creative things instead of moving stuff around. That'll be a treat. So I was trying to think, what else? I've got a ton of vintage books over here. I guess I could show that. All right, if you get seasick, close your eyes. See, I've got that bookcase full of vintage books. I've got to go through those. Back there behind the printer, there's more. I think I'll be much happier when I let go of some of this stuff and then begin to have time to be creative. Because all I've done for the last few months is move boxes of stuff around. And I'm trying, what I've been in the process of doing in the last few months is trying to find storage solutions, which my cabinets over here, I was blessed with those. And then I just made the shelves with the unfinished crates in a 1x12. So that's what those are. And then I've got supports beside the crates and in the center of each one too. So I've got tons of storage, but as I'm trying to figure out where to put things and organize it where I can use the limited amount of creative time I have to get the most done, and I find I've got too much stuff. I can't do it. I can't get it all in there. I can't organize it because it's still just everywhere. So God is telling me to let it go. I'm trying to think of what else. I won't have those page packs done tomorrow, but I've planned 3 sales. Tomorrow the 14th, September the 28th, and Saturday, October the 12th. My desire is to get rid of as much as I can on those 3 sales and then go to having a sale maybe once a month. I'm fine because I'm so frustrated with this. I'm not having the patience with the baby that I need to have. And he's the most important thing. All this stuff is just stuff. And so that's when a few weeks ago, I just really was thinking about it. And I thought, I have got to just stop holding on to things. And I've got to just go ahead and spend these next few weeks, have big sales, good prices, get rid of things, lighten my, lighten the load, all the bins that are up there have got all kinds of stuff in it. And I've gone through a couple, but I've still got more to go through. I want to try to narrow my focus on what it is I want to do. Then I can enjoy what I'm doing, enjoy the baby, and enjoy creating. When mommy and daddy come home from work, I can come in here and actually do something creative, paint a little, play a little. Well, ladies and gents, if there's any more guys in here, I'm going to close this out. I appreciate you all coming and joining me and being here for me, because I needed the practice for doing this, and I've got to do more of it. You don't have the patience. You don't have the patience for what, Sandra? Well, I'm going to have some great giveaways. I've been trying to do really awesome giveaways, but I have learned my lesson in making it something that's really heavy, because it was a problem when I was trying to mail it. But oh, and look at these. I had daughters, and so I loved these patterns. And I've been hard pressed to find any that had really good, pristine envelopes. And I found 4. today. And I'll be selling at least 2 of those, maybe 3. I have to decide which one I want to keep. Actually, I may need to keep 2. I want to do something for each daughter. I know I've been sewing since I was 8. Oh, babysitting. I don't have the patience to babysit Sandra. Not for other people. Not more than, a few minutes here or there, an hour or so. We had a neighbor here who had a precious little girl, and then she had a baby, and she was struggling, so I would go over and help her out. And babysitting was never my thing. But this is my last grandchild, and I worked full time when the other boys were small, but they spent a lot of time with me, but I worked. And so it's like I get to take him places and do things. We go to the gardens, we go to a nature center, we go and do things. And so I'm trying to just enjoy it. I don't want him in daycare all day. With me not working, it would be crazy for them to have to put him in daycare all day. They don't have to do anything. They get up, they get dressed, and they go to work. And he wakes up and he comes and gets me, and we have fun. But he's 3, and he's a typical 3-year-old boy, climbing the walls and swinging from things and jumping off things. So it's just some days are challenging, but other days are a breeze. So that's everything. Every job I've ever had was challenging, so I'm up for this challenge. Well, ladies, I'm crashing. He had his first soccer thing tonight, and you should have been there to watch the little 3-year-olds running around in their little soccer clothes and kicking that ball. It was funny. He does keep me on my toes, Jean. You can't, if it gets quiet at all, if I try to do, I do the laundry and I try to do some other things, and if it's quiet, there's something bad that's going on, and so you have to hustle to keep him out of trouble. The last thing he did was he was reaching for my markers, and I told him, I said, you can't have those. Those won't come off your skin. Your markers are made to come off your skin. So he goes and gets one of the darkest markers, dark blue, and comes back, and he's covered. His face is covered, his belly, his arms, he's got it on his back, all marker. So, like I said, I'm tired. I'll jibber jabber. You guys have a wonderful night. I'm going to crash so I can be ready in the morning. Thanks for popping in, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Full time is hard, Lucy, but it's worth it. Good night, y'all.